Hello, welcome back to Soul Blazer. This is Bio Enchanted, and today we'll be starting on the Mountain of Souls. It's not as bad as I remember it being, just this opening part has a few fairly annoying aspects to it, like a mildly annoying gimmick that took a while to work out how to actually deal with, but we'll see that in a minute. Well, a few minutes anyway. I quite like the whole snowy aesthetic though, and the music's nice enough. I'm not sure if there's actually any difference in music between dungeons, I haven't really noticed. It seems very similar, but yeah. It might just be dungeon music, but either way. We're climbing a mountain, so that's visually interesting. Going from very horizontal of the islands to very vertical over here. I like these little groundhog snow guys, they're really cute. These guys are annoying. Because they're really bizarre movement patterns, and over here they're really hard to kind of get good bead on to actually hit them. Best way I found to hit an enemy actually is to just walk with your shot, because that way it'll stay on screen and won't scroll off. That's always a fun way to get around the fact that you can't see where the shot was going, otherwise you won't be able to hit it otherwise. Because otherwise, if I picked up if I'd touched a monster pad that spawned a person back in town, I would have had to kill those bats again, that would have sucked. But it's always good to find a way around your limitations in these kind of games. That's always fun and satisfying to do. And of course, the mountain's quite small right now, but as you can see, it will expand quite a lot. It's got a lot of cute areas that are likeable enough about this area. It's just the enemies and a few of the gimmicks. Some of the enemies are kind of cool, but some of the gimmicks I'm not a big fan of. These guys are annoying. Let's take care of you. I hate these little bat guys in any kind of thing. Like, any game, the bats are the worst things. There we go. At least there's not many of these guys, there's only 4 per pad. These guys are cool, I like these weird undead moose things. They're a really cool looking enemy type. And they have a kind of a funny gimmick, we'll see that a bit later when it actually gets a chance to take it off. Its attack is quite funny. But I quite like the design, they're pretty cool. Touch this. I also like that it spawns a lot of water in the caves as well, to give a bit of visual variety to the otherwise fairly boring looking town. I mean, this certainly isn't my favourite level, but it's got enough to keep it interesting as it goes on. It's got its gimmicks, and these kind of slopes are annoying, but yeah, they're gimmicks. And here's the summit of the North Slope, where the annoying enemy comes in. And of course, every area has its annoying enemy, but these ones I had trouble working out how to deal with them. I just kind of ignored them for the most part, because they're just one of those recurring obstacles that keep coming back. So before I just kind of tanked them, but it's these little guys on the far right there. You see that little snowball? It's going to be a pain in my bum. Let's take care of these Yetis first. Here we are. These little guys, you can only kill them when they're at the maximum size. And you can only kill them by running them into rocks. And of course, as you can see, it wasn't maximum size, not running into the rocks, so it's not dying. So it just keeps bumping into me and hurting me, and it's just a huge pain to deal with. I really hate these little guys. And now I've got to deal with bats too. No thank you. I quite like the whole carving a path through the snow thing, but that's a kind of a neat thing. I like that a lot of these kind of pads do similar things, like they spawn new pads, that kind of thing, but they do it in a different way each time, in a way that keeps it visually interesting. It actually feels the most accurate way to actually control making a path as you go through the area, that kind of thing. Yeah, these guys are going to be a pain. And now I've got even more things to deal with. Yeah, this area is a little overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff it's throwing at you all at once. Largely because I didn't bother to deal with those bats earlier, but yeah, they'll come later. Just want to take care of everything else first. I like the snails, they're cute. I quite like the whole, as every area has its own characterization, I quite like that this area has its guys riding snails as steeds. That's really a cute visual idea, given the whole mountain thing. And this snowball sucks. Hate those things, are so irritating to deal with. The snowballs are like the worst part of this entire dungeon in my opinion. They're just kind of annoying to deal with. And of course, I won't actually, from this area, you don't actually get any kind of teleporter to this area, so you have to just, if you have to come back to this area, you have to pretty much go through the entire thing again, and just keep dodging the snowballs. It's never fun. First of all, let's finish taking care of these idiots. So always have to kill more of these bats, and that will suck. It's called strategy, you see. There we are. The annoying thing with the four-way shot is it actually starts a little bit away from the center orb thingy. So if the shot, like if the enemy is just at the center orb thingy, the shot will just miss, and that's unfortunate. But it's important to remember that, though. Snowball, go away. Can't get rid of that one because the rocks. Oh no, snowballs, stop. There we are. This is a really useful set of chests. A lot of gems. An herb for a little extra health. A nothing, which is always nice to have. And magic armor. The nothing thing reminds me of one of my favourite things in games. Well, not in games in general, but in one particular game I played a while ago, Blue Dragon. There is actually a collectible that are nothings that you find. If you search for search a thing in that game, and you find nothing, you found something. Because there's a guy in the game that buys nothings from you in exchange for items and so on. He gives you like really good accessories and stuff. Because, and the reason the game gives is, he gets really depressed whenever he opens a thing and sees nothing in it. And so his plan is to rid the world of nothings forever by having you find all of nothing. It's such a ridiculous nonsense thing, but I just love that idea so much. I mean, I like that game despite the fact that it's a little bit boring, honestly. It's like, it's got some charm to it, despite the slight dullness, you know. Like, it's got the right kind of stupidity that I kind of liked. It's got some pretty fun side dungeons too, but that's a digression right now. This is the main gimmick of this part of the area. We can't actually progress here because this ice keeps us in this kind of loop. We can't really leave this area right now because the ice will just keep us looping us around like that. So let's find a way around this, shall we? Solve this little slidey puzzle so we can get onto that ledge. There we are. And now we'll actually see what these guys do. They throw their heads at you. I like that, it's kind of funny. And it's visually interesting, and it gives them a bit of an extra visual thing that the other enemies don't really have. Because a lot of enemies don't really detach themselves like that. I dig that, it's a neat idea. I also kind of like that they start being frozen to death on the mountain, and then when you approach them it's like, nope, I'm gonna eat ya. They're a cool enemy type and I quite like them. They're one of the highlights of this area in my opinion. There we are. useful is useful. And there we have our next key item to get past this lock that we're seeing right now. By lock I mean the slippery ice. Spell that L-O-C-H, I guess, for a pun. Not really much else we can do. We can't really stand on that right now because we just keep sliding right past it. So let's just ignore it and move on, shall we? The electric experience, and go back to the town to see who we've all found. All the people we've rescued. One thing this game has over a similar game, Dark Cloud, is that this game you don't need to grind so much to get good items and good equipment and stuff. You're just given it and that's fine. I quite like that little aspect of bittersweetness about the mountain men, that they live for a year each and grow up incredibly fast. But don't begrudge themselves that short life because they just treasure every moment of it. It's a very nice, like, idea for that. I quite like the concept there. It's the right kind of melancholy. Another aspect of this game's general charm. I also quite like those two because she's just like, they were initially a perfect couple and now she just got kind of bored of him and wants to move on before she dies in 6 months' time. That's a fun little idea. It's like another kind of a comedic side to the melancholy that this game often does to keep things from getting too depressing. Because one key thing that this game has in over other games that are just miserable places to be, like Witcher games, that kind of thing, is at least, like, or even then The Witcher has, like, some comedic aspects too, but for the most part it's buried under massive miasma of misery. At least with this game there's a bit of, like, extra comedic aspects to keep things balanced out. But that's just explored that area now. So, I hope you'll join me next time for the next section of the Mountain of Souls, when we put these mushroom shoes to use. Goodbye.